Hello, my name is Felix Glieser. I'm from Germany and I play the French horn. The French horn is a brass instrument and it means the instrument by itself is doing nothing. So normally when you have a violin, then you have a bow, and then when you play with the bow, then the strings vibrate and then you have a sound. It's nearly the same with the piano, but the French horn is doing nothing. So when you want to produce a sound on a French horn, then you have to blow air through your lips. It looks like, and then you can change the position of your lips, and then you have different sounds like. So this is a thing a French horn player is doing every day, and the instrument is just, yes, keeping the sound more beautiful, more round, more loud, more soundful. The basic thing you do as a French horn player is blowing air through your lips. I started to play the French horn at the age of 4, and in my family and around there was no one playing an instrument, making music, and I also was new in a concert where I've seen the French horn, so it's a miracle from where I got the idea to play the French horn. But I remember the time, so I wanted to play exactly that instrument, and I grew up in Göttingen. It's a small city in the middle of Germany, and there was just one music school, and at this music school there was just one horn teacher. And I went there and said, well, I want to play the French horn. And they said, okay, at the age of 4, you are maybe a little bit too young because you need a lot of air to play this instrument. You need a lot of energy, you know, and in that age, you don't have that much air and that much energy. So they asked me, maybe it would be nice to start with a different instrument in the beginning, maybe with a piano or with some, you know, percussions or something like this. But I remember that I just wanted to play the French horn. So the idea was not to make music or not to go to the music school. So I decided to say, okay, if it's not possible to learn the French horn, then I will play nothing. And then they said, okay, you can start. And then I started to have my first lesson at the age of 4 years. You know, you can see many things here at my instrument, but when you roll the complete instrument out, then you will have a line of nearly 4 meters. So the air starts here and then it goes through the instrument, and the part in the middle is normally not used. But when you push a key, then you change the length of your instrument. So when I push the first key, then the air is going through the whole instrument, plus the lines here in the first valve. When I push the second key, then it's the lines at the second key and so on. And you can also combine everything. Without this, it would be just possible to play a few notes. So when you change the position of your lips, you can change the notes, but it's not possible to play every note with this system. You just can play the natural harmonics. And for this, we use the keys. But the keys, you know, when I'm using them, they're making no noise. So even if I just blow in there, it's doing nothing. I have to keep the air directly through the lips. And with this help, I can, yes, change a little bit the notes, but this is basically how this instrument works. Most people, when I'm telling them I'm playing the horn, they don't know exactly what a horn is. But when you listen to film music, to big movies, then you quite often can hear the sound of a French horn. So when you hear the horn playing, then the most people can recognize. Ah, okay, I heard this in the television or in the cinema or somewhere. So the special thing for me about the horn is the French horn has so many possibilities to play different colors, to play different sounds. So it's very nice and interesting to create an atmosphere just with the sound, you know. Of course, you can play also virtuose stuff, but the most beautiful thing for me is to create emotions, to create specific situations just with the color of the sound. The range of the instrument, you know, it's also a little bit a question of how much do you practice. But it's about 3 octaves, I think. So I can start with the lows. I try to catch it. I never played so low in my life. So this is something of the low range, and the higher one would be. You know, it depends on how much energy you use, and the problem is when you get higher, then the notes are getting really close to each other, so that gets a little bit more tricky to catch the right note. Yeah, so but I would say about 3 octaves would be good to play. I think I'm the one and only person who plays a French horn in this way, so I think also for other people it's not necessary to do this. The thing about playing the French horn is the fingering is not that important. It looks maybe a little bit important, but you can also play without fingering a little bit. So it's not a violin or a piano where fingering is quite important. And so the most thing I would say 85% of playing is about your lips, about the airstream, about controlling everything. This is the main important thing in playing the French horn, and using the keys is, you know, it's not that important and not that difficult, so I would say. It's so nice to be part of the Burma Symphony Orchestra family for the next 2 years. Because normally when you play with an orchestra together, then you travel to the orchestra, you have one rehearsal, then you're playing 1 concert or 2 concerts or 3 concerts, and then you are leaving, and then you're doing something different. And having the residency for the upcoming 2 years means that you have also the possibility to get more in contact with the people, with the members of the orchestra, but also with the audience, to do also some projects, some talking, some master classes off stage. So this is something really nice and really beautiful, and also to have the chance to play chamber music with members of the orchestra. Normally you will not have the chance to do something like this, so you're normally being the soloist and playing with the orchestra, a solo repertoire, and then you're leaving. And so we are playing also many chamber music repertoire, and this is something really special because you have the chance to get to know everyone much more deeper, and yeah, to develop something bigger than you can do with a rehearsal and with a few concerts.